What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your weekly collective tarot for the week of May 24th through May 29th of 2022. Appreciate you all very much. Thanks for joining me for this little weekly tarot channel. We're going to see what the cards have to say. Looking forward to going through this with you. And yeah, putting some good energy into these cards. Let's see what comes up. Let's see. Also, thanks for being here with me. My channel hit 2,000 subscribers over the weekend, and that's a super cool milestone. So I appreciate you all for joining me on this journey and watching my content. It means a lot to me, and this channel is definitely my pride and joy of my public work. So, of course, mainly it's astrology, but this show's part of it too. So thank you, and I appreciate you very much. All right, let's see what we got. Start off with the illumination is the Four of Cups upright. I think we need to realize that there's better things out there for us, and there is gifts that, God is trying to present to us. And I think it's about not paying attention to the things we don't have or the things we wish we could have, but really looking like what's right in front of our face that we don't want to pay attention to, that can actually bring more emotional satisfaction to our life, more happiness, more joy, more love. Let's illuminate those things. There's things out there that are good. There's things out there that suck. Where we put our attention and our emotion is where we put that is very important. So, we can, the ifs and whats, the wishing we had something, that we don't have. Like, what do you have right now that can make your life better, especially this week? There are signs and there are things pointing, and literally God is handing you a gift, and, focus on what that gift is and how you can make it sprout into something that's really fulfilling and not the stuff that's not. For the moon, we got the High Priestess upright. I think, looking at both sides of everything, what's black and white in life? Like, what's the dark side look like? What's the light side look like? I think you have to really get to an alchemical place within yourself spiritually here to see what the truth is, and to realize that you can tap in and make a difference in your physical life by really feeling what it is you want. I think there's a lot of emotion that comes up this week. I mean, where you put your emotion is a big deal. That's a big deal. That's going to have like substantial effects. So got to kind of focus on the good things that you can have, or what, the gift of life is right now, and not the negative. I think we can want to look at the things that we don't like, but let's focus on the things that light us up spiritually, that make us feel more close, connected to God. It's almost like God's trying to give us a gift. And then, we really have to feel into what that can be like in our personal life, and really see that maybe it's not showing up in the physical, but maybe it's the emotion, maybe it's the, mental definition or the physical definition of what's right in front of you too. So it's kind of getting in alignment with the spiritual and the physical, to really see, what's in between worlds, or we can feel like we're in between worlds. And, this is a good opportunity to see like where the gift of the world that you want to create is. And for Mars here, we got the Six of Swords upright. Moving in a direction right now that's better, like changing the scenery, like going over here because this looks better, going over there because that looks better. We got to make these quick moves to really define where we're trying to be in life. And I think it's about moving towards the things that we know holds more value, holds more substance in our lives, having the courage even to go somewhere we haven't been before. And to see that like maybe that's where the positive energy is at, instead of looking at the stuff on this other side of, the river that we're on, that we're focused on these three things or more things that aren't even, growing in our life right now, or they're things that are dying, but really there's a full cup that's being gifted and it's saying go here. So I think this is a week where you realize that you do actually have to go forward in life, and you have to, kind of commit yourself to something that maybe you don't know what's on the other side yet, but it is that the being able to adapt and being able to change and being able to, experience what else is out there, or, trust your intuition to guide you, and to have the mental strength here to really define what's new and not focus on what's, old or decaying. Mercury got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. It's almost like, feeling like we don't know what the starts can be or what the ultimate value is in life right now, but realizing that there's opportunity out there. And I think we have to shift our perspective and try things and experiment with things right now without knowing exactly where things are going to go, or without knowing, how much we're going to, acquire in return for it. It's just feeling that intuition. And I think even with the High Priestess coming out for the moon, especially with the moon card, your personal life, your intuition, your subconscious, trust that. Trust that it's going to work out. And I think that'll give you the stamina you need to move where you need to go. But there's also this mental, I don't know about this new start, or I'm not sure, or second guessing or questioning ourselves because maybe we're so used to things not going our way when actually they can go our way. We just have to follow what we know is true to see what that can ultimately bring in life. And I feel like, we can talk ourselves out of good things really easily this week when, the first initial thing that we get from our intuition can be a hell yes, go there. But then it's like getting, our mind getting in the way and saying, well, will that, be something for the future? Well, maybe it will, maybe we won't. I think there's something about being willing to try things, and do things a little bit differently that can, show up with prosperity in your life. Venus got the Two of Swords upright. So, again, it's like feeling at a crossroads when it comes to our values, or at, dealing with relationships or other people, feeling like, a big choice does need to be made for something that's more sustainable, for something that'll bring better into our life. But is it really a crossroad? Like the moon's in the back of this picture, right underneath the moon and the High Priestess, you probably have a better idea internally of what you need right now than maybe you even want to admit. And I think it's about committing, to what the intuition's telling you, and to not, let your ego hold you back, but to let your ego guide you, and to be that defining force behind what you truly feel you need in life, without being at a point of really sitting there weighing out these two directions in life. Go towards the new direction, go towards the exciting, go towards the experiment, without maybe the conscious understanding of what exactly it's going to bring, but just the internal knowing that feels like a hell yes in your life, and that feels like it's going to be better, or it just holds some kind of weight. But it's almost like we're so used to feeling stuck or, restricted in situations. We got to kind of break through that wall in our lives. We don't need to hold ourselves back. We need to find power for better. And that power for better will help you define your road and pick a path that you ultimately want to be on. So, it's about making choices this week. There's a gut response. What that gut response is so important in getting you to the next side, the next chapter, the next slide, if you will, that you're trying to be on. And you know what? We don't know exactly what the physical, will look like in that area, but dang, there's something about the subconscious knowing. And if you have the strength to commit to that, it might be very helpful. We got the Four of Wands in reverse here for Jupiter. We don't want to count our chickens too early either. We don't want to think just because we're starting something that we're going to see this big celebration, this big homecoming waiting for us. It's time. Let some things happen. Let the direction define itself. Maybe you don't see that just boom. This is, oh my gosh, everybody's just waiting for me and everybody's just happy to see me, or I'm just, in this place of celebration. It might come with time, but it's there. And I think that's why we're getting this with Jupiter. It's believing in the abundance, believing that, really positive, creative aspects of life are getting ready to be there for you. But instead of having this belief that they're just going to be there right when you make a choice, it's no, stay committed, keep going in the direction that you feel is best for you, and it'll show up over time. But, don't get overly confident that if you make one decision, it's just going to, it's just going to reap the rewards right away. That's what I'm kind of feeling right now. And even coming out under that Ace of Pentacles, we have to just try things right now. And they're either going to stick and we're going to see a great response, or we're going to know intuitively that we made the right choice, but we might not see the reward, or we might not see the benefit, or the, oh my gosh, yes, right away. But that doesn't mean you made the wrong choice. And that doesn't mean you have to look back at what once was or turn the boat around with that Six of Swords either. Be in a place where you're mentally and emotionally positive that you're trusting only your intuition, and that will bring you the celebration you're looking for in time. And Saturn got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So, I think that's another thing about the time. Like the physical is going to take its time. It's not going to move as fast as you think it's going to move. It might feel slow. It might feel like you're doing all these things and you want to see, what that's going to show up as right away. Maybe it's not the week to think that it's just going to show up right away. But it's still that persistence to dedicate to the experiment and the curiosity of having better things without feeling restricted from trying new things or bringing some youthful energy into your life. Things are going to happen as they're meant to happen. Don't get your hopes up that right when you do something, it's going to change the whole game. This is more of I feel like this reading's like it's a long game. It's a long game of trusting your intuition. It's a long game of dedicating to the right path, to choosing the side of your life that you want to be on, not making choices for other people, but making choices that are strictly, coming from within yourself. And to see that there will be a celebration in time. And it takes, courage to have curiosity, and it takes persistence and work in the direction that you want to see things come to fruition. Pluto got the Nine of Swords upright. So really this is a lot of, transformation coming through our subconscious, coming through trusting that, even though it looks scary. We got to see what's on the other side. We got to cut through things here and realize that things are coming to a completion so that new things can begin. And you kind of have to choose here. Are you going to keep building a foundation based around a nightmare, or are we going to wake up with a higher consciousness to turn things around and to see that there are gifts all around, but you have to change perspective to see that gift, and you have to change the way that you let your subconscious dictate your life, and the way, I don't even want to say subconscious dictate your life, using your subconscious as exactly what it is. And that's even the High Priestess coming out with the moon here. It's either showing you the dark and the nightmare, or it's showing you the light and where you have more power to tap into that. And then it's about the choice to make to go towards where the light is in your life and to put light to the dark things that are in your life. And that's not always easy, and maybe you don't see the rewards right away, but it can feel like an intense week of, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. But it can also be where there's a revitalization of waking up from a bad dream. Wild Harmonic Oracle is the dimension of fire, infinite expressions. Yeah, I think that we can have a lot of fire, and there can be so many different ways to use that creative potential. So many different ways to express yourself. But you have to find it within yourself, and you have to find that sacral energy and then bring it up through your body and use it in your consciousness, your mind, bring it out to your hands, bring it out to the things that you touch. You are an infinite expression of light and love and the abundance of life that you can have. If sometimes we don't fully express that because we live in physical reality, and there's things in life that try and stop us from that. But it's like, how can you bring light and positivity and expression to all things by making changes and adapting and moving towards more of what your soul knows and more of that gut response to the exciting things that can continue to grow and can continue to burn strong, while the things that are not burning strongly, do those need your expression, even though you have an infinite amount of it? Use the dimension of the fire within you to define where you're putting your energy and put it into the things that are best for you, and only you know what that is. And Black Moon, Astrology, Oracle, we got Mercury Retrograde. Fitting, we're in the final full week of Mercury Retrograde. Reinvention, reevaluation, going over things, reevaluating our whole environment and our whole mental capacity here, so that we can reinvent with a better form of our infinite expression, so that we can look at a brighter side, because maybe we had to go internally and realize where we really want to put our, conscious efforts and our conscious thought. Getting back to your truest connection will show you what you really need to be doing this week, and what's going to make more sense in the long run, and where things can ultimately go. But I think there's a lot of reflection that needs to be taking place so that you can make your choice for you, so that you can, shift something to where the gifts are in life, instead of the conscious focus on where there isn't a gift, or this ideal of how the gift needs to look or what the payout's going to be in the end, when, you could be worried about that kind of stuff, and it's too exterior, or too exteriorly motivated, if you will, when you need to be focusing more inwardly on your environment, because that will, with time, show up with the value and the expression and the curiosity and the youthfulness that you're looking for. We got to get out of, letting the exterior dictate, We got North Node, first house, Sagittarius. Yeah, I mean, your story right now, you need to go towards the direction that is of your ultimate truth, your ultimate story. You need to point your arrow in the direction that you truly believe in, and you need to focus that energy towards your direction, and your direction only, and define that. And it's not about that South Node Gemini in this, in these dice. It's like 7th house, like, oh, well, I need, other people to help me come to some kind of decision, or I need to talk about this. Like, you need to just believe in yourself, and you need to know that your story is yours alone, and you have to define that, and you have to really see how larger than life you can be. And by going that way and cutting out the noise from the other side, you're going to get more in touch with your intuition to see your gift that's being presented to you of how to make changes without worrying if it's going to please someone else, if it's going to show up in the way that society thinks it's supposed to. Just staying positive about yourself and your choices will make be a huge directional shift for you this week. I do hope that was helpful. I love and appreciate you all very much. I hope that you have a great week, and I'll see you every day for the daily horoscopes. Much love. Peace.